It's weird saying goodbye to my friends. I actually had a great time this week at a really cool job where I move and deliver boxes to different companies basically. And I wouldn't be driving, I was kind of hand delivering them like the Old West when cowboys would ride on horseback throughout the different countries, throughout the different regions, and they would deliver different boxes and pieces of mail and sometimes nails and stuff. And as it was pretty cool, I'm kind of at this awkward stage where I'm not sure if I'll be back. I have another position that opened up, a possibly better job opportunity. Already taken that position before starting this week's worth of work. So if you can follow along, this is a little weird situation, and I've completely explained it to the manager of the delivery job, just telling her that, hey, I will contact you, and it was great working here, and there's like wonderful people, just fantastic working conditions, and I loved it so much. And I would love to be back for as long as I can, but to tell you, I was hired on as temporary work basically, and that's what I will be, is temporary worker. I did have something kind of scheduled that is more long term, more I can get a letter of offer basically kind of situation, so I can get an apartment and this and that. So right now I'm at this term of how good will this job that I signed on for, how good will it actually be? This job is a security position at a really big organization, to say the least. An organization that will really light up your world, so to speak. So it's a really big opportunity, and because I haven't worked at this position, this opportunity, I'm not sure how good it actually is in comparison to this delivery job. I'm sure it'll be okay, but still, I want to keep my boat open, so to speak, to let the rainwater out before it drowns, really. Because you know, opportunities and new things and stuff. I want to make sure I'm getting the best deal. I'm really one who looks at sales, and even just like a night ago, I had this dream about finding a soda for like what, 86 cents or something, and it was absolutely fantastic. Like I had a little eyegasm just looking at that sale and watching everybody like turn their heads when there's like this $3 soda on the shelf, and then poof, the sale is just around the corner and it's like 86 cents. It's like back in the old days when everything was cheaper and just better, and you didn't have to worry so much about spending and what you were gonna buy and how it was compared with the quality. You didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. It was just good old fashioned. I want this, I get this. And I think that that's really missing in a lot of days, a lot of these days, stores. It at least freaks me out, and the people who I kind of grew up around back in Tennessee. We always used to worry around Christmas. The joy from getting and giving gifts was kind of left to a point of I don't know if I can afford it type thing. So the homemade gifts would be frowned down upon. So kind of instead of skipping out on Christmas, people would just work really, really hard and penny pinch and eat ramen basically to afford any kind of decent gifts for people. And then they'd spend like $15 on a small feathery ball that you put on your backpack, and then it breaks in like a week. Like, it's just scummy stuff. And it kind of stunk to like live through that sort of thing. So I don't know. I'm still salty about Christmas, and I'm a little salty about taking new deals. Is kind of because there is that chance of it being scummy. So I'm holding off on accepting this job fully before really like getting into it and understanding that, like, hey, no, this actually is a good position. See, the delivery position I think was so great because it kind of saved on food bills, and I got a hot meal out of it. They would like serve breakfast and they would serve lunch, and you could take 15-minute breaks twice a day, and the lunch was only 30 minutes. So you don't have to be bored and feel like you're wasting time, but also you get to enjoy this really good food. and I was starting to learn Spanish, which was something like, I've wanted to like learn a different language to be able to communicate with people, and French does sound really cool, but it's also cool being able to actually communicate with people who are around you each and every day. Like, just being able to connect with people is like really important to me, and it's a little silly, but that was just really cool. I was learning words like trabajo and caja, which casa means house, but apparently caja means box, and it was you know an experience that I don't think I'll be forgetting for quite a while. So I know little words and I can create tiny little sentences right now, and it's just so awesome. And I'd hate to throw that away for a position where maybe I don't talk with people and maybe I'm like just standing around the whole time. So, giving this second job a chance. But honestly, I'm turning my nose up a little bit, and I'm seeing if this is actually a good position or not. It's not like as strenuous as other jobs I've had, so I think the real brute toughness I've acquired from previous work employment's really playing to my advantage. And for instance, like going into the freezer is no big deal. I can do that with a short sleeves, and everybody else has to wear like a jacket, and they're freezing, and they have to hurry. But because of the working conditions I was put through for so many years, I can just stand in the freezer and look over my list and make sure I've got everything and just really get the job done. If there's a time constraint of an hour and I have to downstack an entire pallet of uh, big old boxes, right? They're heavy. I've got to know, kind of where they go, but I've never really been in this area before. Well, because of the previous jobs I've had, I can actually do this very effectively. And not only that, but I can help out other workers with things that they're trying to accomplish, like lifting the most heaviest freaking wheelbarrow just full of ice bags up like a set of stairs, basically. This impossible task that two employees alone were just having a huge struggle with. They really needed like a third person, and I was that third person. And today, I think it really hit because everybody was saying how much I was needed and stuff. And I don't know if they caught on to me possibly applying to a different position or if they caught on to me being an actually good worker, which is like kind of, kind of cool. But it really hit that like, oh man, they actually really need another worker. And, I have a decent personality, right? So I can like work kind of effectively with people. Sure, I'm not a party animal and jokes around about everything, but at least I'm not grumpy and just being mad about the whole situation. I'm actually enjoying this this job opportunity, and I'm willing to, as the South says, I'm willing to get her done. It's also weird, kind of how homesick I've been. I've been talking about like where I'm from and stuff to different people, kind of explaining that like, yeah, I'm new into Vegas, and I came from Tennessee, and I kind of moved here because of a few different things. Not just because the prices were super high, but also because the weather conditions were just absolutely terrible. And I think that's talking about my home is definitely made me really homesick, and I didn't even realize it until the Nashville radio station just got turned on at work like the whole day. And at that point, I realized that I'm really, really into like 80s rock music. But it was really cool and it meant a lot. And yeah, they're good people, man. They're really good people. And I feel kind of bad if I were to like leave, but at the same time, I know it's something that I have to do, and I'm trying to like let them know like, hey, you know, um, it was cool to know you for a while. And that's the thing about life is sometimes you run into people and you know them for a season. Sometimes you know them for a day. And sometimes they can really like affect you. And you feel like you need them around forever or else everything is just gonna crumble. But it doesn't crumble. Life goes on. Life continues to like be good and you're just left with this really cool memory of a really cool time in your life. And I think that's kind of how this job's been. It's just been really cool. So I'm really giving it extra care to make sure this new job is kind of the same working environment. I know that they have a lot of overturns on their staff where they'll upsize and downsize and upsize and downsize, and there are people who they're kind of around the company for say like 5 years ongoing, but throughout that time they get fired and rehired quite a lot. So just hearing all the workers over at this delivery company saying they've been there for like 8 years, 15 years, is just kind of incredible. And I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing, but at the same time, I just have this feeling that I wouldn't be happy staying at this delivery job. I feel like I would have to go over to this new position. So I'm not really sure what's set in stone, honestly. It's kind of new waters. And sometimes water can get too deep, right? But you can always go back up for air. I want to make a goofy video again. Just something fun. Like the Mario Kart videos where I just get to announce like every turn and small adventure. I've just been a little focused on life right now, guys. And honestly, I kind of want to go to a foot spa because I've got like an ingrown toenail. A piece of the toenail that's kind of digging into the skin. It really hurts. I'll be honest, it really hurts. And I'm good with pain, but not knowing how long an ingrown toenail is going to stay there, I think it would be really nice, just like a little treat this week, to go out and get a foot spa. I'm not like a big feet guy, which is so funny because there was one or two individuals that really thought I was into feet. They thought that like, oh man, if I get my feet done, like, oh, we can like go on a date or something. And then they got their feet done and they were all just raving about it. And I'm just over here, not really into feet. But, proud of them for taking good care of themselves and stuff. But still not into feet. And now, now I'm getting my feet, maybe cleaned. I'm taking care of my own self. Oh man, that thing came out of nowhere. Really, these frogs are kind of like a living nightmare following around this game character. I'm gonna call him Steve. Good old... He looks like a Steve, honestly. Reminds me of this guy called Steve Baldone. Pretty sure that's his name. But he was a singer who did that Christmas song, that horribly sung Christmas song, like a few years ago. But he was part of this like recording studio up in Nashville, and he and the boys, so to say, were just they were talking about all these people and how horribly they would do covers and how funny it would be to horribly do like a Christmas cover, like a really well-known Christmas cover. They did it. I think that's how it goes. I don't think they were like actually that mean. I'm just like paraphrasing things in the worst way possible. Man, these guys, they were real dips, right? Like, I'm just, ugh. My memory's fuzzy a little bit, but the gist of it was they just thought it would be funny to redo like a Christmas song in the worst voice ever. And then they posted it, and it like went a little viral. And he thought he could capitalize it. He could capitalize on it and like do it again with another song. So he kept telling everybody like, "Oh man, that's me, that's my video." And I think people got annoyed about it. And then he posted another video, and of course it didn't do as well. It's funny how talking with people can actually make your content go like be received better. Like if you talk about your movie to a bunch of people, then they could get really excited about it. But if you keep telling people that like you're the director for it or whatever, then they'll just get really annoyed. Especially if you don't say what the movie's about and you're just like you just keep saying, "Oh man, yeah, I made this. Yeah, this is my idea. I did this." Right? And people are like, okay, what did you do?" And you just like either can't put it into words or just like, forgotten exactly what you've done. So like all you're saying is, well, you'll see. I'm in it. So you'll see my, like, face or whatever. Just full front and center. And, like, when you see it, just know, like, I made that. You know, that's like the most annoying thing ever, dude. And, I think that's what he did, and, yeah, it just, it was either that's what happened, or the second video just, like, wasn't as good. Like, it wasn't as well known of a song, it just wasn't as funny anymore. And so he didn't make it, like, sound absolutely just garbage, you know, it sounded actually like just a bad singer, honestly. It sounded like kind of decent enough to be sung at karaoke night instead of nails on the chalkboard kind of cover your ears and pray for the best. You know, get a new god at that point because the old one wasn't working. One thing I didn't realize about Vegas is how many churches there are around the city. Like, they're not in the city, they're almost banned. But all the people who have moved out of the city who just like don't gamble, or maybe they got thrown off by losing one too many times, and I mean, they create it and go to these churches and have these billboards that are like, "Are you anti-Semitic?" Like, it's very, it's like if you do nothing, you stand for anti-Semitism. And I'm over here not knowing what anti-Semitism means, and it's kind of in like this Mexican part of the this city, so I don't think that they can actually read and understand what anti-Semitism is either, right? It's just like this bizarre jumble of words, and I'm driving past this most days, just asking why they would create a billboard with like no image, and it's just text, and it's this really big word that nobody understands. And also, if you're driving by on like the highway or the bypass or whatever these roads are called that kind of connect throughout the city, you know, you're driving super fast and there's this big word. How is anybody supposed to be able to read this thing? Like, just say, get a new god, right? Like, put that on a billboard, you know? Or like, I saw one, it was like a little better. It was just, God is the truth, right? I think that's a really, you know, that's a billboard. You can read that. It's still about religion and policies, and trying to, you know, tell people to give money to an organization that just yells at people all the time. But, you know, I think that's better, honestly, than posting the word anti-Semitism on a billboard. It's too big. I've been driving by. It took 3 days to read that word, of just driving back and forth past this billboard. Every single day, I'd get a new part of the word. The first day, all I saw was semi, and I thought, oh cool, semi-automatic truck, Ford F-151 just came out. Right? It's going to have like 12 horsepower. It's going to be $23,000 and a brand new, and it's going to be the 2026 model that everybody's just looking forward to, and it gets released early 2025. And like, I can just really sink my teeth in all these commercials of trucks that I can't really afford right now. And like, maybe one day I'll get a cool truck, and I'm not going to get the Ford F-151, but I might get the Ford F-150, just because I've been convinced since like childhood about all of these cool trucks and all the cool features that make camping really easy, right? Like, you can plug in a waffle maker into these things nowadays. Just the back of the pickup truck, you can cook sausages and biscuits, bro. You can cook things like never before. You can go anywhere, and you're in the truck. That's so wild. I remember back in the day when that wasn't even a possibility, where charging your phone in a car just wasn't an option. And now, we're able to plug like full-on waffle makers, like TVs, like grills. I mean, you could probably plug an oven into these things. And you can cook out of your truck. That's incredible to me. I don't think anybody's realized it yet, but the achievements we've made in wattage power, you know, changes, the gas to AC DC or whatever, it's just advanced so much, and it's like such a small but impactful advancement, and nobody's talking about it. You don't hear people in your local gas station gossiping about the latest Ford F-150 and all its advancements, and being able to absolutely go camping out in the middle of the wilderness with nothing more than a waffle maker and some water and a small bag of pancake mix and just be fine for the night. And bring some syrup even. Because at this point, with this technology, you're bougie. You know, you're flying around on gold. Anyway, I don't really know what this derailed into, honestly. But thanks for uh letting me yap for a bit. I also love those videos that are like, I'm a professional yapper, and it's like people just making random noises for like 3 hours. And I listen to it because if you yap for 3 hours consistently, right, you're gonna have a good voice. Or at least you're gonna know some cool stuff to say that just makes me really want to like listen to it. I've been listening to a lot of good sounding videos, like kind of strange stuff, right? Like I'm really into like listening to like like hair washes, like Asian hair washes are really cool. They have like great technology that they use to literally like clean somebody's scalp, right? There was a video, this like scalp doctor took a photo of this girl's scalp, and it was filled with what looked like subtle dandruff, right? And then she starts like cleaning her scalp, and all I'm thinking is, man, this is so good. This is so good. And I was imagining how like painful it was to like have an itchy scalp all the time, and how just incredible it must be to like have a smooth, non-itchy, just perfect scalp once more. You know, I remember those days when I had like a subtle scalp, you know, one that just held the hair follicles, not one that I had to think about all the time. And how cool it would just be to get that back. And so it really like intrigued me, right? And there was like one, it was in Japan, it was like the best hair scalp professional ever. And then there was one, it was like Chinese, right? And they had this like huge waterfall. I don't even know what it's called, but it was like a big, gigantic headband, and it had little spouts of water that shot at the person. I thought, that's incredible. I'll watch it. I don't know, the satisfaction from that one just wasn't as good. They didn't do the before and after image, and they seemed pretty rough with the hair. Honestly, it would probably like clean it just the same, but there's like an amount of chemical that's needed, you know, so that your hair isn't like really, you know, your scalp isn't burning with pain-ridden scratch marks, like bleeding and pouring out. Right after, I think I found some kind of, I don't know where it was from, but they did the full-on just chemical treatment, and it was weird because out of all of this, I didn't fully notice like the sound. I didn't notice like the treatment option. All I noticed was that the doctor in the Japanese video, she was like kind of scrubbing and kind of using chemicals and like, you know, doing her thing, but she had this huge like wrap on her arm. And this second video, they did not have a wrap on their arm. And I was like, man, this doctor could probably do this for a really long time. And they wouldn't destroy their own body to make people feel better, right? And then like the day right after, I think, I just realized like, oh man, this is what I'm focusing on. 1,000%. I love this video and like everything about it. And this is why, right? It was just so funny to me. So maybe I realized that about a whole bunch of different videos, is just really subtle things that like make stuff good all around, you know, or like it shows you that like, hey, this is viable, right? It's like a car. There are some cars, they break down after a couple of years. Tesla, so to speak, only lasts like maybe 3 years or so, and then it just completely degrades. The batteries give out, and it's just like not a great design. And sure, it might be new technology, but I mean, when you're just looking at the thing, there's no reason why I would want to buy it other than to flaunt how much money I make, right? It's kind of like playing golf at this point. Is the people who have a Tesla, they go to the charging station just to meet other rich people, and they can have like a 3 hour conversation as their car charges halfway, right? That's kind of what it's turned into. So, you know, maybe if you just want to chat with other millionaires, just get a Tesla. Otherwise, there's really no need. Now, is it possible to hold a flaming torch in the rain? Is that possible? A sleep bag. Yes, that would be great. Now, I would need some kind of like campfire, but that is not an option right now. So, all the food is good. There are twigs on the ground. There's so much hay. I don't think the hay is necessary. Tentacle. Tentacle spike. Ooh. That might be for... I was gonna say either criminals or monsters, but honestly, neither of those two words really explain the full extent of the beasts in these games. The tentacle arms, the gigantic birds that peck down on this guy, the spears, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. I did see a bingo game at this place called the Golden Nugget. I didn't know if I should be hungry and get nuggets at this place or if I should play bingo. But while I was there, I did see that they had closed food courts. What do you mean? Okay, no, that's fine. That's just, hold the tentacle spike, hit a bird. Okay, fine, yeah, hitting birds is creepy. No, I completely understand. No, that's completely accurate. I would never hit a bird. That's too creepy. Imagine getting to a big boss at the end of a game, and he, like, doesn't want to attack. Like, Zelda doesn't want to attack Ganon because, oh, it's too creepy. Right? Batman doesn't want to attack Joker because he's too creeped out. He can't hit him. Back off, preacher man. Hey. Iridocyclitis, you know what I'm saying? Oh my jeez, bro. He's a wizard. Aw, frick. No, pick that back up. Oh my jeez, he's almost dead. So that's not getting any... Just drop it then at that point. If it's not useful, get rid of it. If it is useful, hold on to it for dear life and never let it leave. Maybe it's for the best to just, like, keep it. Who knows? I'll know. 3 months from now and I'm playing this game with way more knowledge than I've ever had before. And I know, like, what the best strats are. Yeah. And I'll know. And I'll probably have forgotten about this whole thing. This whole day of freaking bees, bro. Oh, jeez. Bees are fine, though. You just hold a little torch to them and they'll like, probably burn. Monster meat, okay. So that did not help out with the heart, but it helped out with the hunger. This might help out with the healing. Yeah, okay. It's looking good. Berries, what do? No, they hurt. They hurt the heart. I have 2 torches. Random fun fact. I have 2 torches. Sitting in the inventory, ready to be used. If I need more stuff, it's always good to just throw things away. It's kind of like when you move and you realize how many pairs of underwear you actually have. And how you really only need like 2 pairs. sorry, crazy take. Very just absurd. 2 pairs. I think from one of the professional Don't Starve Together players, the best thing to do is to create a campfire and then to create kind of a base around that campfire. So putting chests around it, digging up dirt and making sure that, like, no snow gets on the campfire, really helps out with the warmth issue when winter comes. And it's like this first part's just preparing for winter. So, I could create an axe. Yeah, that would help. I've never mentioned before how I like that this is a arcade game. You really go through every day trying to survive the next, and it gets progressively harder. You can fight bosses and build camps and do whatever you want, but when you die, you have like a second life, and then after that, it's just game over. Which is what a lot of arcade games did, was it would give like a second life, and once you die again, then they just say, "Oh nope, you have to put another quarter in the machine and completely restart." So I've been doing that with Galaga and this like weird helicopter game that's been quite enjoyable. And yeah, it's a quarter well spent. Oh, I can burn these too. Fun fact. Then I can catch on fire. Okay, so I can attack this guy or continuously walk away from him. So one of the fun things about the characters that I tend to play in this game is they all aggro this like gigantic tree boss. It is a really cool find, and I do not know why it keeps happening, but it's like I play as a Weber or I play as the axe cutter, and like I aggro just every tree boss. Now petals are good to eat to regain hearts, but whenever it gets winter, petals become a lot tougher to find. In fact, you can't find petals just lying on the ground. You have to make do without. So it's good to like learn how to hunt food and collect meat, because that's another way to heal up. But still being relatively new at the game, I'm not quite sure about the attack patterns and how to avoid getting hit. Seems like I got a new dog. He's literally chasing after a hare. Dude, that's like him chasing after... Okay, whatever, you get it. You get the classic dog joke. I don't have to explain it to you guys, but that's just so funny. That's just so ridiculously funny. Again, I notice the little things, guys. I don't notice the big picture. The game's a little arcade game, and the texture everywhere is really cool, and the art style is just amazing, but the one thing I notice is how the dog chases after the hare, bro. What is this? A cookie crumbles. Yo, dude, yeah, lead me to your lair. I'm literally taking candy from a gnome. Yes. I'm falling for his trap. Aw, oh, man, there's 2 cookie crumbles. Well, this is really heating up. I could go either way. Maybe just taking both of them is the real answer to this mystery. There he is! Examine gingerbread pig. Oh, that's adorable. Wonder where it leads, too. What, am I gonna find his secret lair? Is he gonna kidnap me in a gigantic mouth of a cave and end my bones? Or is this going to lead to like a gigantic pile of cookie crumbles? I'm really intrigued. Do these cookie crumbles despawn? I should just shut up and follow them, honestly. Asking too many questions might put me in existential dread, and then I just won't ever follow the cookie path. It's weird how some people like really get like that. It's called overthinking, but basically you just think about something so much that you don't take any action, and you're just stuck thinking about it. There was someone though that explained it really well to me. Was whenever you think about doing a task, you're literally doing half the task just on loop, but you don't get the satisfaction of ever like finishing it. When you take like no action, you're just stuck in this like agonizing dread non-stop. I would love to open the crock pot. There's nothing in here. I'm putting in some cookie crumbles. Oh, okay. Oh, it doesn't go in there. Huh. Beefy green recipe card. Aha. Examine. Okay, so this would be a really good moment where having a chest really helps out, and looks like the chest is locked because it requires boards. Turn logs into twigs, though I don't need any twigs. That is hopefully just enough to create like a board, like a B-O-A-R-D, like a board. I need more logs. Alright, but little gingerbread man is taking a moment to really think about what he's been doing. Before I go into his evil lair, I'm chopping down this tree and getting some boards, building a chest and putting my stuff in there. That way I can come back and have the most magnificent meal. I did find a really cool restaurant that I want to go to. And yes, my plan is to pay for a whole meal there. Without any discounts. Just enjoying, like, a delicious meal. That's what I kind of want to do. I didn't think it would be, like, that big of a deal, but at the same time, it kind of, like, is, it's an important deal that I'm, like, looking forward to. So, I spoke with the chefs at this restaurant, and I was asking them, like, what got them into cooking, and, like, how they started out, and if they're enjoying it. And they just were, like, saying that they are. Yes, I'm eating all these cookies. Delicious. Use the science machine to build a prototype. Yeah, but the science machines require... That's so funny. Oh, I could pick up the cut grass and create a backpack. But you have to build a science machine in order... Ah, that's a science machine. The science machine. That's so crazy. Gotta get a science machine. Give me science. Glow cap. Science machine. It requires gold. And rocks. So now I need to go back to the wooden cavernous place and get everything I need. And then somehow return to this area. Can I mark it on the map? Of course I can't. Alright, this is okay. I'll make this work. Don't you worry. There's rocks up here, but there may be another rock area further onto the right. Wow. Well, on my way to get gold. I guess my greed really killed me. Now this would be a great moment to either restart the world or to find the revival stone, which... Is he going after this hare or what? Get him, bro. Alright, see ya.